An ABC News exclusive, Congressman Paul Ryan speaking out in his first network television interview about Mitt Romney, the big campaign, the tough election defeat. 1 week ago, millions of Americans saw his name on the ballot running for Vice President of the United States. Tonight, ABC's Jon Karl sits down with him to ask, why did they lose? How did it go wrong on election night?
How much of a shock was it?
Well, you know, we thought we had a really good chance of winning. You know, the polling and the data and all the people who are the smart people who watch this stuff, they had a pretty optimistic view on the night. And so going into Boston that day, we felt like we had a pretty darn good chance of winning. So as you can imagine, it was a bit of a shock when we didn't win.
You were the running mate, but was that the campaign Paul Ryan would have run?
Oh, gosh. You know, I think when you join a ticket 3 months out, you join somebody's campaign. I was really impressed with the way Mitt and Ann brought us into the fold. So I was very encouraged by that. I really enjoyed it. And I wanted to run a big campaign on ideas. We did that. We ran on ideas.
Saturday Night Live poked fun at Ryan, a native of Janesville, Wisconsin, for failing to help Romney win his home state.
Mother sent me to come get you, Father. Paul Ryan is doing feats of strength in the drawing room. She thought you'd like to see.
Yeah, well, I'd like to see him carry Wisconsin.
Father.
So what happened in Wisconsin? I mean, I look back, you lost Janesville.
Well, John McCain, I think, got something like 35% in Janesville. I think we got a little higher than that.
A little bit.
A little bit. Janesville's always voted Democrat, top of the ticket. Wisconsin has always voted Democrat, top of the ticket, except for the Reagan '84 landslide. So we knew we were pushing against the trends. We knew it was an uphill battle, but we still fought.
So the president wins 330-some electoral votes, every battleground state with the exception of North Carolina. Does Barack Obama now have a mandate?
I don't think so, because they also re-elected the House Republicans. So whether people intended or not, we've got divided government.
So you don't think there's a mandate here?
So I don't, because then they would have put Nancy Pelosi in charge of the House of Representatives. See, I think these ideas that we talked about, I think they're popular ideas. This is a very close election. And unfortunately, divided government didn't work very well the last 2 years. We're going to have to make sure it works in the next 2 years. That means, I think, that both parties have to talk to each other.
But could you see yourself supporting a plan that raises tax rates?
You know, I'm not for raising tax rates.
So you won't support a plan?
I don't want to get into negotiating with the media, but I do not support raising tax rates.
Period.
Yeah, I've said that. I've been saying that my entire career.
Diane Sawyer asked Speaker Boehner if you are now the de facto leader of the Republican Party, and his answer was,
"Oh, I wouldn't think so. Paul Ryan's a policy wonk."
I take that as a great compliment from John.
So is that your role now in the Republican Party?
Look,
is you're kind of the House policy wonk?
I've always been one of the House policy wonks. My role is to continue to be a champion of ideas, to help our party be the reform party that shows how we get economic growth.
Ryan said he completely unplugged in the days after the campaign. He didn't even hear the news about David Petraeus' resignation or questions about its timing until later. Instead, he was hunting and spending time with his family.
You know, the great thing about this last weekend, I got to go to both my boys' basketball games. I got to go to 2 of my daughter's volleyball games.
So there's an upside to losing.
There's an upside to losing, which is reconnection with my family, which is something we're a very close family. People got to see our family. I'm excited about getting back to work here.
Paul Ryan's 3 kids, who are all in elementary school, saw one big upside to losing. They get to stay in their school. He told me they were worried that if he won, they were going to have to move to Washington and switch schools.
A consolation of some kind. So I know you asked him about 2016. What about it? Is he in?
Well, he said it is way too early even to think about running in 2016. But Diane, a lot of Republicans say that he will be the clear front runner going into the 2016 battle for the Republican presidential nomination.
All right, Jon Karl, an interview with Paul Ryan.